Alright, unit 1.2, part 2. Right? So 1.2, part 2, midpoints of a segment. Right? We already talked about a line segment. It's just a piece of a line. It's measurable. It has a point on both ends. It has two endpoints. Right? We're going to use that knowledge. Right? So we're going to look at the midpoint. The midpoint is the middle. Right? So the midpoint of a segment, it creates congruent segments. Right? Congruent is equal. So if you have AC and they tell you that B is the midpoint, even if it doesn't look perfect, if they tell you that B is the midpoint, then the left side and the right side are equal, congruent, right? They can either tell you that B is the midpoint, which tells you that the left side and the right side are equal, or it can have tick marks. These tick marks tell you that the left side and the right side are equal. It'll have a matching number of tick marks. So if this side has one tick mark and this side has one tick mark, then they are equal. They are congruent. Right? We can use that information. If a line or a ray or a segment bisects the midpoint, right? Let's call this line L. Then it said that line L bisects segment AC. Right? It bisects. It cuts it in half. It's also called a segment bisector. Right? Because it cuts it in half. It bisects it. Bi meaning two. It creates two perfect halves. Alright? So, if Q is the midpoint, it's telling you it's the midpoint. This is the information you are given of PR segment. Then it wants you to find X. Alright? And it gives you the information. P, Q, R. It says this is PQR. And it tells you that this is the midpoint. That means that the left and the right are equal. Right? Then it says P to Q is 7x minus 16. And Q to R is 4x plus 2. If you know that this is equal to this, you can write the equation exactly like that. This is equal to this. Now it's just an equation. It has a variable on both sides, so we're going to cancel the variable term. Right now it's a positive 4x. We want to cancel the whole term, so we're going to subtract 4x. We're going to cancel the whole term and move it over here. We're going to line up our like terms. Right? And we're going to solve. 7x minus 4x is 3x. Bring down our equals and our positive 2. Get rid of the constant. It's a negative 16, so we're going to add 16 to both sides. 3x equals 18. 16 plus 2, 18, right? If there's no sign in front of it, you can assume it's positive. If you did the basic math review like you were supposed to. Anyways. Alright, now we're going to cancel the coefficient. This is 3 times x, so we're going to divide by 3. X equals 6. Always go back and make sure you answer the actual question. This one's telling you to find x, so we're done. Right? If it tells you to find something else, you need to find that something else. Alright? If you need me to do that again, rewind it and watch it again. If you need subtitles, turn on the subtitles. If you need to translate the subtitles to Spanish, translate the subtitles to Spanish. It's the whole reason I'm doing this. I want to reach everybody. Right? So, if H is the midpoint, of GI, the segment GI, this time I want you to find GH. This is why it's so important you go back and double check the question. Make sure you answer the question. Alright, so it says GHI. H is the midpoint, so the left and right are equal. I put these marks to remind myself that the left is equal to the right. G to H is 5x plus 2. H to I is 9x minus 10. We're going to do the same thing we did over here, we're just going to go further. Right? We're not going to stop at x. We're not going to stop at x because it asks us to find the distance between G and H. Alright, so 5x plus 2 equals 9x minus 10. You can move the variables either direction. And to prove it, I'm going to move the variable to the right. Sometimes it makes more sense to move the variable right so that things stay positive. But if you move the variable to the right, you need to move your numbers to the left. I'll show you. This is a positive 5x, so we're going to subtract 5x. 2 equals 4x minus 10. Now, you have a choice here. You can either just flip the equation, right? Symmetrical property says that you can flip it. Right? It says that if this side is equal to this side, then you can just flip it, and it's still the same equation. Right? Using symmetrical property, we can just flip it. Otherwise, you have to add 10 to both sides, divide both sides by 4, and you're going to end up with something equals x. And then at the end, you could still just flip it, put the variable on the left-hand side, right? But if your brain gets here and it's like, whoa, that looks wrong, fix it, just flip it. 4x minus 10 equals 2. Now it makes more sense. The variable is on the left. This is why I like the variable on the left. It just makes more sense in our brain, right? So we're going to add 10 to both sides. 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 3. Remember, once you hear, double check and make sure what they asked for. Because in this one they asked for GH. So what is GH? GH is this plus this. No, wait. I almost confused myself. GH is just this piece right here. So 5x plus 2 is GH. Now that we know what x is, we can substitute x for 3. So instead of 5 times x, we're going to say 5 times 3 plus 2. 15 plus 2, 17. So G to H is 17. Now let me ask you something to prepare you for the next problem, right? If this is 17, what's this? Yeah. If this is equal to this, and this is 17, then this is 17. Get it? Shortcut. I do so love a shortcut. Alright, one more. If R is the midpoint, of segment QS, find QS. QRS. And because we know R is the midpoint, this is equal to this. It says Q to R is 2x plus 16. R to S is 5x minus 17. We know this side is equal to this side. So 2x plus 16 is equal to 5x minus 17. It's a positive 5x, so we're going to subtract 5x from both sides. That gives you negative 3x, right? Think about it like debt. If you owe $5 and you pay, negative means owe or cost, positive means pay, right? If you owe $5 and you pay $2, you still owe $3. Don't lose that negative. This is all part of the same term. That is a negative 17. Right? Positive 16, so we're going to subtract 16 from both sides. Negative 3x equals negative 33. These are both negative. Debt, cost. It costs $17 and it costs $16, so it costs $33 in total. Divide by your negative 3 to isolate your x. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, just the same as a negative times a negative is a positive. Right? So positive 11 is your x. But it wants you to find QS, which means it wants you to find the distance from here to here. Right? The shortest path to that answer is figuring out one of these. Because if you can figure out the distance on one side, then you know the distance on both sides, and you just add them together. Right? So, let's do it. Whichever one looks easiest for you. Let's do 2x plus 16. We're going to replace the x with 11. 22 plus 16 is 38. So if this is 38, then this is also 38. So this to this is 38 plus 38. 38 plus 38 is 76. So what is it? QS is equal to 76. I know I went fast. It's a video. That means you can rewind it and watch it again. It means you can slow it down. use the subtitles, use the Spanish translations, right? If you have questions afterwards, ask. That's what I'm here for.